a 1996 Mercedes C220, and my temperature gauge on my gauge cluster is not working. I did notice it will come on when it's foggy or it's wet or raining, and it will say like negative 36, 32, somewhere in there. So I'm going to try to find the sensor. It's supposed to be on the front bumper of the car, and see if I can clean it or see if it has a bad connection or what's going on with it. So stay tuned. Okay, I figured out my problem. I got it up on my car lift, and the sensor on this car, it's 1996 Mercedes C210. It has a little plastic piece that goes in here where the sensor sits down into, and it's completely gone. So what happened is, I guess when it fell out or however it got knocked out, it chewed up and ate that wire off up there. I really can't get at it too well. See this wire right here? There's a green and a brown wire. That's your temperature sensor wire right there. And so I think what was happening, it was showing onto my dash, it was saying negative 32 when it's wet and cold or foggy. That's the only time that temperature gauge would work. And I found that these were touching each other, so I think it was just kind of getting the signal touching, maybe. I'm not real sure. But I have a parts car in the back, and what I did is I went ahead and robbed the sensor off of it, sitting right here, and it's green with the brown wire. So I'm going to try to clean this up and solder it and heat shrink it to that existing wire that's hanging underneath the car there, and that should get my temperature to work back on my gauge cluster. Reason why I'm having to worry about this is it has to do with the AC and the heat and all that stuff. It's a sensor that has to work for the AC modular in the car to work, and I'm having problems with my heater and my AC at the moment, and the only codes I'm getting through the AC unit was a temperature of the motor sensor, which I fixed, and a temperature of the outside. It said I was throwing those two codes, so I'm hoping fixing this will make my AC and my heat come back on. Let's hope, anyway. So come back once I get this all plumbed in there and soldered up. Thanks. Okay, I was able to, I brought the car back down, and I was able to find that cable or the wire that ran down there. Fished it up here so I could solder at it better. Let me use a little I think it's a 15-watt soldering iron, and then I'm gonna solder it up and throw some heat shrink on that with this sensor that I got off the parts car in the back. So hopefully that will make my temperature work and everything work. So I'll get back to you. Alright, thanks. Okay, got it all soldered on there and heat shrink down, and hopefully that does it. I'm gonna run this back down to the bottom where it was supposed to be, and zip tie it kind of where the horn is, around that area where it's supposed to go down, where that air duct used to be, down in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of gonna probably put it right back where it's supposed to be, kind of down there. Hopefully that fixes my problem. I'll come back and let you know. Alright, thanks. Well, okay, that fixed the problem. It was saying negative 32, and I guess that's what it says when you don't have a sensor. Let me fire it up real quick. And bingo. And it has the actual temperature of what it is today here in Texas. And if you're having issues like that where it was just blank or saying -32 when it's wet, chances are it might be a similar situation as mine. I hope that's the case for you guys. And possibly I'm hoping this fixes my AC and heat. And I'll give that a go once I got to do an oil change and lift the car back up, do an oil change and a couple other things underneath there, and then come back and check my codes on the AC unit itself and see if that works. But anyway, so far so good. Hey, I forgot to say, when I first turned it on, it went from -32 and it counted all the way up, digit by digit. So, just FYI. And, it's working.